Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a little bit of a situation going on with this VTuber convention, which again is called Onkey Expo. Now, apparently they're the first US East Coast VTuber convention, and well, there's been a lot of kind of announcements from VTuber agencies and VTubers and indie VTubers and whatever, saying that they're no longer going to be working with them, which of course is very interesting, and a lot of people have been kind of, looking into this and taking a look at exactly what is wrong. Now, again, you can see here, Sox Agency, if you guys don't know, they're a pretty big agency at this point now. They just recently signed on as Zentrea, which again is a huge talent and is a huge talent to have at your convention, right? But of course, I don't know if she was supposed to attend or whether, if they had like select talent that was supposed to attend, I don't know. But essentially, yeah, they put out this notice saying Sox Agency has terminated our sponsorship agreement with Onkey Expo, and we're no longer affiliated with the event. Neither Sox Agency talents nor staff will be attending Onkey in any official capacity. We wish their team well. So yeah, essentially that's the notice that they put out, and a lot of people were very, very confused because obviously Onkey also responded to this saying, "We at Onkey are sad to see SVA go, but we respect their decision and wish them the best as they continue to grow their amazing brand," which is interesting, right? And of course, if you say, "Oh well, SVA happens," and they're saying, "Oh, I may be out of the loop, but I hope everything's okay." So context police, we're doing fine, we're doing okay. Obviously, that's from Alien Mixture, a member, right, of SVA. So again, a lot of people very, confused, right? And well, it seems like obviously some people have been doing a little bit of digging though, and also as well, there has been other people also announcing that they will not be going, saying Oshiba has decided to withdraw from Onkey Expo along with all the talent brought in through our organization. Oshiba staff will not be attending Onkey in any official capacity. So yeah, that's also from Oshiba there. But yeah, obviously people were doing some little bit of research into exactly why the reason for this is. And obviously it's come from Kenny saying, so if anyone's curious about what's happening with Onkey Expo, I'm pretty sure it's their association with VCat, who uses AI openly and instructs others how to use it for their service. Understandably, this doesn't sit well with a lot of their partners and guests. And yeah, I think it's pretty understandable, right? Because of course, as I said, I know that, my audience is pretty 50-50 in terms of AI and what they think about, AI art and all of this kind of stuff. But I think it is pretty understandable that a company like a VTuber agency or whatever, who are very, heavily against that stuff, don't want to work with an event that is working with other people that, use this, right? And you can see here, Onkey is still happening and the staff is still working very hard. I'll be fully transparent with the community. Oshiba left citing concerns of one of our partners using AI. I reached out directly to that partner and they gave a long explanation of how that isn't so. But I found this sentence informative and I will directly quote it, saying, "Like any company, we do concepting and mood boards, but the final production are the works of many talented artists," which obviously means we use AI just on the final project, right? Like, I think that's like, the saying like it wasn't like that, but again, obviously some people don't like it used in any aspect, and I think that's okay if another company doesn't want to work with them, over that, right? And of course, continue saying Onkey has had a zero AI policy since the beginning. We work very hard to ensure that nothing AI, and we work hard to ensure that nothing AI comes close to anything we are doing. All final projects are and always will be fully created by amazing talented artists. Saying sorry, that sentence implies that they do use it for concepting and mood boards. I'm misunderstanding the lady saying that the company uses AI for their creative process. It said the post I saw pointed to the CEO participating in an event that uses AI. So yeah, obviously I think they are suggesting that they do use it in the kind of like pre-production phases or whatever you want to call it, of their work or whatever they do, which of course is still using it, right? Which is pretty interesting, because obviously they've lost some pretty big partners over this, and I'm not sure why they didn't just like, if Onkey has a zero AI policy or whatever, I don't know why they just didn't drop VCat, which is this page here. I don't know why they didn't just drop them, because obviously it seems like they don't like it either. So why not just keep Sox Agency, who's a very big agency at this point, and Oshiba and all this kind of stuff, and then get rid of the one that is obviously apparently the problem for a lot of people, right? Because again, if you keep, VCAT, then of course it's going to cause more problems maybe down in the future for other VTubers that might want to attend as well, right? Saying this implies they generate ideas with AI, even if they hired artists to recreate the final products. I was told by a friend that it was VCAT. It said went to go look at the CEO's posts, and if you mean VCAT, they're pretty well known for using it. Yeah, they even have articles publicly instructing people about how to use it for their service. Obviously says, yeah, one of a kind as AI. By using AI, you can expand your imagination, and anyone can easily create images, enhance the world's atmosphere. In this article, we will explain to you how to you can utilize AI in VCAT Cloud world creation. Some image generation AIs can generate 360 spherical images. Let's generate your own set, whatever that says. So the problem is it isn't the final product. The problem is it uses it at all. Yeah, that's a pretty big issue. So yeah, obviously that's what a lot of people have been kind of commenting about. And again, yeah, I think that is going to be the main concern I think a lot of people have whenever it comes to the event, right? And I definitely can understand why, these, groups and agencies and even indie VTubers and whatever don't want to work with it. Because as I said, although that you might, not care about AI and stuff being used, I know a lot of these VTubers do, right? So of course, that's going to be a big, point for them whenever it comes to actually attending the event, right? Now, of course, as well, as we said, this is virtual market. This is VCAT, essentially the company that they claim is the ones that use AI, and the ones that essentially, were the ones that cause other people to leave because of their usage of that kind of stuff. It seems like they're still going, as far as I can tell. Maybe there's going to be some news later on about them, maybe not being a part of it anymore. But yeah, obviously some people also upset about certain VTubers attending and things. But again, I don't think it is necessarily about that. I think it is more so to do about the whole VCAT stuff. Because again, they say they made a disassociation as of this moment with Akuma. So yeah, obviously they clarified it's in fact VCAT was the problem. So absolutely can confirm it is in fact VCAT. So they stated they didn't know the VCAT used AI and was assured they didn't. However, it's pretty open on their site, so make of that what you will. They say, to partner, I was not aware of the AI. I was assured by them that there was no AI, and I saw assets being made by hand. And yes, we'll be doing a deep dive to find out as much as we can for ourselves. So potentially we could see them also not being a part of this stuff, saying, as soon as I have a full picture of the AI situation, I'll make a full statement. So yeah, that is pretty interesting, right? And again, I don't know if this is going to change anything for the people that were involved. For example, like socks and things. Will they be attending again if they do remove VCAT or whatever? I'm not really sure, but it will be interesting to see. But as I said, it definitely is a big blow to Onkey, because I would say from at least what I've seen, this is probably one of the biggest kind of groups that was kind of attending, right? So as I said, they've got people like Zentrea, they've got people like so many more, right? But ad free, all of this kind of stuff. Again, they're big, right? And of course, Flork themselves are very big too. So again, it would have been such a huge win for them to have socks at their convention, especially for the first one in the East Coast. But of course, it seems like they will not be attending. But hey, as I said, maybe that'll change. Maybe there'll be some announcement or whatever. Maybe they can further talk about it. But yeah, it is pretty interesting, and I just kind of wanted to give you guys the reasoning behind this, right? More so because people were confused. People were very confused. They wanted context as to why, all of these people were suddenly leaving, because there wasn't really much of an explanation. And that is the explanation, right? They didn't like, obviously, another partner or whatever using AI, and that's why they decided to leave. So yeah, I mean, that's essentially all there is for this situation. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.